Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn subtraction, the fourth chapter of your textbook, and in that we are going to learn how to subtract numbers with and without borrowing, and also how to find out the numbers, missing numbers in a question of subtraction. So let's begin.
Simple subtraction without regrouping, that is where we do not have to borrow anything. Let's see, this number is 6. From 6 we subtract 2 and we simply get 4. Similarly, 8 minus 3 gives us 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. 9 minus 6 gives us 3. This is simple subtraction where we do not have to borrow anything. Coming over to the next question, which is with regrouping, or wherein we need to borrow things. Now as you can see, we cannot subtract 9 from 5. So what we will do is, we will borrow from here. This number 3 becomes 2 and this gives away 1 to the next number, and finally we have here 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. Again we cannot subtract 8 from 2. So what we will do is, we will borrow 1 from here. This number becomes 5 and this number becomes 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. Again, to subtract 7 from 5, we need to borrow 1 from the next number. 15 minus 7 gives us 8 and 7 minus 5 is 2. Let us move over to the rules to find out the missing numbers. The first rule is, if the blank is in the first row, then we add the numbers in the second and the third row. Now children, we have got 3 rows in a question of subtraction. The first row, as you know, is the biggest number. The bigger number is written on the top. So to find out any blank which is in the first row, what we do, we add the number in the second and the third row. Second rule, if the blank is in the second row, then we subtract third row from the first row. Thirdly, if the blank is in the third row, then what do? We subtract the second row from the first row. Now this will be much clearer when we move over to the examples of these questions. Now let us look at this number which has got some blanks. The blanks given here are this in the second place, then in the second row, then here in the last row, and again in the second row. So these are the blanks which we will be filling up. Let us understand this. 5. Now if you could recall, if the blank was in the second row, if the blank is in the second row, then what do? We subtract third row from the first one. Subtract third row. Which is the third row? This is the third row from the first one. So subtract 2 from 5, you will get 3. Okay. Now here we have got a blank in the third row. Third row, what do? We subtract the number in the second row from the number in the first row. So 6 minus 2 will give us 4. Coming over to the second row. As you have seen, what do we do for this? We simply subtract this smaller number from this bigger number. So 8 minus 3 will give us 5. 5 minus 0 is 5. Again the middle term, 4 minus 2 will give you 2. So just by keeping those rules in mind, we can very easily find out the missing number. Now let us have an example wherein we have numbers which have got carrying or the borrowing part in it. Now look at it. This is, the blank is given in the third row. Third row, simply we will subtract the second row from the first row. 8 cannot be subtracted from 3. So what we will do? We will borrow 1. Now the number is 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. Isn't it? Now we have to find out the missing number in the this row. That is the second row. Second row, what do? We will subtract this number in the third row from the number in the first row. But again, it's not possible to subtract 6 from 1. So what we will do? We will borrow 1 from here. Since we are not aware what is there in this blank, so at present we are just going to borrow 1. And the number becomes 11. 11 minus 6, we can easily write down as 5. Now coming over to the third. Now this has got a blank in the first row. If the blank is in the first row, we add these two numbers. Why? Because this number is the bigger one. And to find out a bigger number, we will add these two numbers. But along with these two numbers, we'll also have to add this one. Because this we have already given away. It was there in this blank, but from here only we have given away this one. So what we will do? We will add up 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. Okay, now again the last term is left. For this what we will do? We will subtract 6 minus 1 will give us 5. So I hope now you have understood how to find out the missing number in a question. Thank you, children.